Y Entertainment is pulling out all the stops to keep BLACKPINK united. However, signs of strain are becoming evident, with no new album on the horizon and a forthcoming world tour feeling more perplexing than thrilling. Fans are starting to question if YG is losing its grip. Is the Deadline tour an effort to reconnect BLACKPINK with their supporters, or merely a farewell disguised as contractual obligations? Let's be honest, it's been ages since we witnessed all four BLACKPINK members together in a way that genuinely felt unified. In recent years, the girls have been pursuing solo fame and achieving it quite rapidly. From groundbreaking solo albums to headlining global festivals, it's evident they are flourishing individually. While fans celebrate their success, it appears that YG is gradually losing its hold amidst the process. This is something nice and anticipated, considering whispers about YG's mistreatment of BLACKPINK have circulated for years. Fans have witnessed delays in comebacks, minimal promotional efforts, creative limitations, and numerous other issues throughout their time as a collective. All these troubles culminated in 2023 as the girls' contracts with the label neared expiration. Naturally, the world was on edge. Would BLACKPINK renew with YG or finally break free for good? What ultimately transpired was somewhat of a compromise. The members renewed their group contracts solely for BLACKPINK endeavors, while opting for complete autonomy in all other aspects. This meant individual labels, personal schedules, and for the first time, total creative liberty. Once the girls acquired that creative freedom, the outcomes were unignorable. The members delved into solo projects that not only highlighted their unique artistry, but also made BLACKPINK's collective discography seem rather bleak. Rosé unveiled Rosie in December 2024. Jisoo followed suit with Outrage on Valentine's Day 2025. Lisa's alter ego released at the end of February 2025, while Jennie's Ruby concluded the series in early March. These were 4 solo albums launched in just under 4 months, a feat that never occurred when BLACKPINK was promoting as a unit. As if that weren't enough, Lisa and Jennie graced the Coachella stage as solo artists in April, while Jisoo and Jennie embarked on their own mini-tours, connecting with supporters in ways the group hadn't done in years. Despite the group's name staying the same on paper, BLACKPINK as a collective went quiet, and fans couldn't help but observe that every significant accolade the members were racking up had little to do with YG and everything to do with their newfound ability to shine solo. While BLACKPINK was busy conquering the world individually, YG Entertainment was quietly crumbling behind the curtain, with each solo release dominating charts and illuminating global stages. It became more apparent that BLACKPINK can thrive without YG. Yet, YG was still in dire need of BLACKPINK. In early 2025, fans discovered just how dire the situation had become. YG had wrapped up 2024 with its first ever operational loss, marking an unprecedented collapse in its history. Despite raking in over $250 million in revenue, they still ended up in the red, accumulating over $16 million in operational losses and concluding the year with a net shortfall exceeding $340,000. In simple terms, once BLACKPINK opted for independence, YG's financial safety net disappeared. Looking at these figures, it became all too clear to fans that YG is nothing without its leading act, and as the group drifted further away, the company had no option but to shift into crisis mode. And in classic YG style, they didn't release a new album or rectify what was amiss. Instead, they resorted to the one tactic that guarantees quick revenue: a worldwide tour. On February 5th, fans were blindsided by an unexpected teaser for a 2025 global tour. However, there were no dates, no cities, not even a proper title. Instead of generating buzz and anticipation, the announcement left fans utterly baffled, given that the girls were still deeply engaged in their solo pursuits. And no comeback was declared. Nothing about this tour appeared strategized. 2 weeks later, on February 19th, YG finally revealed the tour schedule, and it was monumental. BLACKPINK would kick off in Goyang on July 5th and 6th, head to North America by late July, reach Paris, France by August, and conclude with a 3-night stint at the Tokyo Dome in January 2026. Some additional dates were added due to high demand, but even that didn't alleviate the feeling that something wasn't quite right, as it appeared BLACKPINK had little to promote. Although the tour announcement raised concerns by itself, the situation only worsened over time. The tour is intended to kick off in early July, yet there's been no hint of real group preparation, no rehearsal snippets, no hints of a set list, and no sneaky peeks behind the scenes. Instead, the girls continue to be spotted in various countries pursuing their individual plans, like Rosé, casually enjoying her time in LA. It's tough not to feel as though BLACKPINK isn't even in the same time zone, much less in the same studio rehearsing. While there are rumors suggesting that the group's production team has also arrived in LA, where YG has its office. The lack of any official updates from the company has left fans confused about what's really happening out of sight. For a stadium tour of this magnitude, the absence of even basic promotional content is remarkably odd and has fostered an air of doubt rather than anticipation. As if the quiet surrounding preparations wasn't disconcerting enough, fans were recently presented with another warning sign, and this one came straight from the members. On March 30th, Jisoo shared a behind-the-scenes vlog from her Image promotions filled with delightful clips of fan meetups and music show events, but it was a surprising moment with Roz that had fans buzzing for entirely different reasons. Towards the end of the vlog, Roz stops by to cheer Jisoo on during her second pre-recording for Inkao. The two share a heartwarming exchange until Ross casually mentions that it's the first time they've met since Christmas. That detail alone was enough to raise eyebrows, particularly considering that during that period, the group was supposedly gearing up for a world tour just months away. What made matters worse was Rose's response when Jisoo invited her to join a quick dance challenge. She hesitates, laughs, and confesses that it's been a while since she last danced. While the moment was presented as lighthearted, it certainly caught attention. Fans rushed to social media almost instantly, sharing clips of the encounter as further evidence that preparations for the impending tour may still be non-existent or at best severely postponed. Nevertheless, not everyone is prepared to label this tour a complete failure before it even starts. While the silence from YG has sparked a significant amount of worry, a segment of the fandom believes that just because things appear chaotic doesn't mean they really are. In reality, if you've followed BLACKPINK for a long time, you'd understand that this type of quiet phase isn't a new occurrence. The girls have consistently worked away from the public eye, sharing nearly nothing until everything is set in stone. Even during their individual projects, teasers were only unveiled when the product was finalized, not during its development phase. And naturally, there's also the similarity to the Born Pink tour, which many fans recall for its shaky initial performances where the group appeared noticeably out of sync. Nissanens insist that this instance will be different. Back then, the members had been nearly entirely inactive. Now, however, they're juggling consecutive solo albums, global schedules, and prestigious performances. In other words, the girls have been more visibly active than in years. So while things may feel hurried, especially with no clear group promotions in view, some fans are optimistic that their recent solo rehearsals might actually prepare them better. Just when fans believed things couldn't escalate further, WG finally confirmed what had been buzzing in rumors for weeks. BLACKPINK will be unveiling new music. But instead of a complete comeback or much-anticipated third album, the announcement left fans even more split. The label disclosed that the group will launch one new track during the tour on July 5th and 6th at Goyang Main Stadium. YG shared nothing else. No title, no concept, no release date. Just the assurance that fans attending the opening concerts would hear it live before anyone else. The company claimed it would signify a meaningful moment, stating it was the ideal symbolic way to reconnect with fans. But for many, it felt more like a last-minute decision rather than a long-awaited return. Particularly considering it's been almost 3 years since BLACKPINK's last full album was released. As tensions escalated online, something intriguing occurred. Lisa spoke out. She recently sent a note to fans expressing her excitement for the forthcoming concerts and that the members had been diligently working behind the scenes for preparations. On the surface, it appeared to be a lovely update, but the timing didn't go unnoticed, and some fans felt it was a tad too convenient. Throughout social media, many started to speculate that Lisa's announcement was less about real enthusiasm and more about managing a crisis. As tweets spread about fans reselling their concert tickets and the rising chatter regarding inadequate rehearsals, a swiftly rising tide of theories emerged that someone at YG noticed the negative reactions and decided a member needed to intervene and soothe the situation. in a lighthearted manner yet not entirely joking. Some fans even suggested that Lisa must have lost a game of rock, paper, scissors and ended up stuck with crisis management duty. Conversely, others hurried to support her, highlighting that Lisa has consistently shown a genuine connection with her fans and frequently engages with fan messages when she's enthusiastic about her projects. They stress that she has never been particularly active online or embroiled in controversies and likely wouldn't even have come across the debates unless someone directly pointed them out. Regardless of Lisa's statement, the news of a single new song being performed only fueled the backlash further.